What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Guess what?
What's up, YouTube?
Hey, we're back here and we're gonna be doing a repair that you guys have seen me do before on your steel body trucks. This one is gonna be an Superduty, but today we're not even working on the truck. We're gonna be looking and tearing apart the component that we took off. You guys down? Let's go. All right, everybody, thanks so much for coming back and checking me out, checking out what we do every week, checking out what we do to your truck and his truck and all the other guys behind you, because what I like to do best is make sure that your Superduty is giving you no problems and it's running in tip-top shape. Whether that's gonna be 100% bone stock truck, or you got different turbos on it, different intercooler pipes, fuel tanks, you name it. Besides the dirty, we do not do that. You guys know we do not travel that lane. But the reasoning why we are here today, big shout out to Adam and Logan watching us over there with Daddy. We have the infamous P132B code. That is one we've had on a turbo, specifically a 2016, but now the newer Superduties, you'll get the P259F. Now this is the factory one, 2017. It had 76,000 miles on it. And this actually was happening when I left the dealer. This gentleman had been fighting this code. It would go on and off, and I told him, hey, you're gonna have to replace the turbo. When I was at the dealer, I was able to perform the TSB where they had you reprogram the PCM, but here we are with the turbocharger replaced. So what I want to do is find out what is exactly inhibiting these vanes from moving, because that's why the check engine lights come on. And what other choice to let my counterpart here, he's going to start taking some stuff apart and we're going to dive into this. Hopefully I'm going to find some rusted unison ring vanes, and the pivot points are not supposed to be stuck. They're supposed to be free moving. So what I want to do first right now is let's flip this thing over. He's got the correct socket. There are two pieces to the turbos on these, and even, I should say, not on the steel body trucks. If you had an 11 through 14, you would not have this big of pedestal on it. But I have to turn this back in for a core, and it did not come with this. So we actually need to take this off. So we're gonna go ahead and take these two T47s out. There's three of them. Hold on, here we go. Right here, there's three. One in the middle, one in the middle. All right, we go for the sides. All right, we're just gonna lift the pedestal right up off the turbo. Yep, perfect. Now I'll put the pedestal down here. I wanna show them something real important. What did we have to install into the new turbo? Do you remember?
Gasket? Or... the little filter.
The little oil filter. Don't forget, when you guys are doing turbo replacements, make sure you're getting the turbocharger oil filter screen out. Give me a pair of needle nose so I drop that thing back down in there. That's something that usually stays in here, but I've had it kind of fall out, and all this is like a angled screen inside here, and that goes in the oil supply, up from the block, through the filter, through the pedestal, and up into the turbo. This is the pedestal gasket. And be careful with these metal gaskets, man, because these can really, they can really cut you. They're sharp. Let's get this out of the way. Get that out of the way. Why don't you grab, can we? No. Lay it on its side so that we can take this off. I don't know if it's going to stay like that. Actually, let's get a little block of wood. All right, we're going to rip these 13s out. Now this is the front impeller housing. This is where the air from your air filter goes straight down into the bowels of the blades. Probably not going to see too much. It's going to be a big oil swirl once we take that off inside the turbo. You can thank your CCV for that. All right, should probably just kind of pop off like that. Maybe, there we go. I was going to get a little hammer. That should be just as I said. Look at that oil swirl. Nasty. So your engine just eating all that. Give this back to the rebuilder guys and see if they know who I am. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Not much we can do here. This will come off. This is a nut right here that's gonna hold this wheel on. I'm gonna leave that on because the problem part is on the other side, the inside, the middle, the guts. So we're gonna turn that over, set it so this is the bottom, just like it would be in the truck. Turn it counterclockwise. Ooh, leaking oil. All right, that was clockwise, but we're good. Okay, 11 milli. Get us knocked out. If you guys remember when we were talking about the last truck, when you take these turbos apart, when you're putting them back together, it's real important to index them if you're reusing this turbo. Sometimes on the 6.0s, we had to clean it, take it apart, put it back together. That was the warranty procedure, but I don't think we're gonna be doing that on this one. What shall she show? Show your ugly face. Okay, we'll separate this. Oh, swing it out. Swing my rod out. Ow. That's pretty tough. He said it's pokey. Use that thumb. Use that thumb muscle. Yeah. All right, cool. So now we have a spot that's open, sorta. Okay. Right there. Let's see if we got enough gumption to bust it loose with a hammer and sickle. Ball peen. Oh yeah, ball peeny. Has anybody seen my claw hammer? Why would you guys use a claw hammer on the vehicles? I hope you're using ball peens. Anybody that's using a claw hammer under the dash shouldn't be working on vehicles. Ball peen hammer. Let's do it. Get it right in there. Or you can use an air hammer. Air hammer would be more beneficial, but that would require me to hook up the airline, and I'm having a feeling we are going to need to do that. Okay, let's see if we have something a little more with an edge on it. Feeling a little edgy. Feeling a little edgy. Screwdriver was not going to work. Ooh, would that work? Would that work? Ooh, transfer. All right, I'll spread it just a smidgy. All right, get it right there in the crack. Yeah. That sounded like it changed. Oh, that's sounding like it's changing. All right, so let's rotate this thing. Hit it right there. All right, let's rotate this way maybe. It should just fall apart once we get far enough. That clamp could still be inhibiting us. Here we go. Maybe get that screwdriver now. Yeah. Stick it right. Yeah, something's loose in there. That just wasn't from us. I don't know if you guys just caught a glimpse of that. All right, let's see how far can we spin this.
Oh, it's coming.
Is it? This thing must be really rusted. Really rusted. Real time, no edits. Pulling this thing apart. Damn. Yep, yep. Yep.
There it goes.
There we are. All right, well, here are the vanes. These are the vanes that are supposed to move effortless. Look at that. They're supposed to pivot right on that post. These look okay, but you guys have to understand, these just don't move by themselves. This has to be told to move. Now, you might be asking what that is, and that is the main reason why we are here. Take that clamp off. Just like the other turbo, we had a 2016 or 2015. Same freaking thing. This should be, oh, I see what was loose right here. It actually was like a little gasket between the halves, which went like right there in that groove. But this is the unison ring. And just like on the 6-liter, these are supposed to be in here. And as this moves, it's supposed to pivot on this post. And when we have, you know, no boost, and we have boost, we have no boost, and then we have boost. It's, he's trying to pry this off right now and can't get it off. This is why this truck was in here. It said the check engine light would come and go. Wasn't complaining of a whole bunch of power loss only until the check engine light came on or the fault was present. Wow. A lot of rust buildup. I'm telling you guys, every time you get in your truck, you may think you're ragging on it, but you can't let these things sit and get carboned up and rusted up. Here it goes. He's going to break that covalent bond right now. Look at that. Maybe come off the side. Come over here and go on this side.
On this one?
Yeah. There you go. Pound that sucker in there. There we go. Man, Jiminy Cricks. Look at the corrosion built up right here on the inside. That is supposed to effortlessly slide right here. That's not supposed to give you any problem. Wow. Yeah, turn this a bit more. I want to see, why is that shiny? Is that oil?
Yeah.
What? That would have had to have been for us. Maybe from disassembly or something? Of the turbo, not removing it from the truck. I don't think that'd be an oil seal problem. Yeah, that would have had to have been from us. But then again, there's no oil in here. Maybe that wasn't from me. That does look kind of liquidy though. I don't know, where do you guys think that oil came from? I didn't really pay attention when I was taking that off. I guess I should have. This is the VGT actuator. You can hear it exhausting. This is the oil drain. So this sits in the block like this, right? All right, so pay attention. It sits in the block like this, sits on the block like that. So right now, this one right here is in the middle, and this one right here is on the right-hand side, okay? So oil comes up from the block, goes through this filter, through the pedestal, up into the turbo, lubricates it, gives it the hydraulic actuation for the VGT, it needs that medium, and that is the fluid that's going to allow this to operate. How hard do you think this was working in order to get this stuck ring to spin? You saw how hard we had to pry off, and you can only imagine how hard this little guy would have had to work in order for this to go like this. Now let me show you the actuation, because it is pretty cool to see once you have it on the table. So let's see if I'm going to try doing this with one hand. All right, I'm going to leave it like this, like this. It's been a minute since I did this. Okay, okay. They're all on the inside. All right. So I took this off, and this was like this. So that means I'm gonna have to put it on like this. Or where's the witness marks? Oh, nope, I think it was this way. See the marks on there? All right. Here we go. Once you get one, you can get them kind of working in. Let's see if I can get that one. One hand, camera, and light. Okay, I got like half. Where's the, there it is. I think this is the cool part about the turbo, because everybody wants, you know, that cool sound. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Now I'm going to use this bolt. I'm going to use this bolt as my actuator. In fact, let me turn this around so my hand's not over the way. You guys have a better idea. All right, check it out. So this little guy right here is supposed to be doing what I am doing right now. So we have no boost, zero boost. Now we're gonna stick our legs out when we're swinging in the chair, and we're gonna grab all that exhaust flow. All of these fingers just did this. Oh, I'm stuck. What did I do? I just totally messed it. I'm an idiot. Back together. But the fins out, what that is doing, like you guys are trying to figure out, well, how come I have no boost, and when I don't have boost, and when I have boost, and no boost, and have boost, and blah, 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 blah. This is what is happening. You're spinning around doing this in your turbo. You have no boost at all. And now you want boost, and now I'm grabbing all that exhaust flow to spin the turbo, and now I don't want boost. Like, there's a lot of things that are happening inside this turbo, and I don't think you guys understand until we show you this kind of actuation right here. Move that back and forth. It is imperative that you guys give this thing the beans every time you're driving your truck. It's imperative. You got to do it. You're not going to be ragging on it. I will say with 100% transparency and confidence, for over the last 2 decades, any diesel that I would work on that came into the shop, came into the dealer, whether it was a 6.0 or a 6.4 or a 7.3, immediately, I don't care what, well, I do care what the concern was, but if it was a power concern or a leak concern, I had to go drive it to get it to operating temperature, that pedal was on the floor for at least 5 seconds. That pull is going to increase exhaust back pressure so much that it's going to force everything to work. Force, not push it, force it like you're going to break it, but force that rust to be ground down. If you can have that unison ring move back and forth, then you are going to grind the rust off of the inside of your turbo. And that is what probably a lot of your guys' turbos look like who don't get ragged on. I want this to be a PSA. I want you guys to learn and experience. This was a learning experience for me. Mr. Ron, everybody check your O-rings. In fact, I'll tell you right now. Had a coolant leak after the truck came back. We road tested it, cleaned it, took it to the Quarter Car Wash, came back, double checked everything, did an oil change sticker, parked it. The guy came to pick it up, and it started leaking coolant. And this O-ring was the culprit. I put Vaseline on it. I even told young man, hey dude, don't ever reuse this O-ring. I put a new O-ring on because I've had these pipes leak, and I put a new O-ring on and that pipe freaking leaked. Oh my gosh, I felt bad. I had it in stock. We got it fixed. Didn't have to take anything hardly apart, just a couple of parts. But note to self, check your seals, check your coolant lines, and most importantly, give that turbo the beans because it needs to work. I appreciate you guys for watching. A lot of you guys want me to do different turbos. Unfortunately, right now with the state of events that's going on in America, in this economy, in this world, I can only put on the factory turbochargers. I can't get behind any tuning. I just don't have a way to facilitate that when your vehicle's coming for the shop, come into the shop, and you want a big KC turbo or an RDS turbo or a Titan or whatever. I'll put it on, but you're gonna have to tow it out because you're not gonna drive it. You're not gonna be able to drive it because it's not calibrated. So if you're interested in getting a turbo replaced, let me know. I'll be more than happy to put on the Ford OEM turbo, do some recalibrations for the factory file, and DCRs, maintenance, you guys got it coming, DPFs, problems, dealer issues. I'm trying to sort everybody out. We are slowly doing it. And I appreciate you guys for coming in and checking us out. Make sure to like, comment, sub, share. And next time, it might be your turbo. Say hi, everybody.